This is my first little video, yeah. This is basically like, it's gonna be like a hair diary, y'all, because I ain't did like a hair diary thing, like, or document my hair journey in a long time, and I normally do. So yeah, this is something new, I wanted to do this quick, and I wanted to do while I was doing my hair because, like, a lot of people that follow me, they are also fans of my hair because they follow me for years. I've always had long, thick hair. They get mad at me every time I cut my hair. So I just decided to do something, a new little segment. This has already been a segment on my blog called What's Up Doc, which is just me literally writing blog posts about what's going on in my life currently at the moment. I thought that I should do a video this time because there is a lot that I need to catch up on, and I feel like it is time for people to actually hear my voice talk about what has been going on lately while I'm doing my hair, so the ladies can get a little tips of how I get my braid out, my infamous braid out, because that's like my favorite to go to natural hairstyle to do, is to moisturize my hair. But yeah, I wanted to give everybody like my little natural hair braid out routine. And while I'm doing that, I catch y'all up on a little Doc's Castle Media history, a little Doc's Castle Media, what's been going on when I was MIA for a year and a half, and you know, all that type of joint. So I did not prep for this video. Usually I prep for my blogs. Like, I'll outline them and do them in this particular way to make them seem just go-gettish, because people don't really like reading like that. So, like, I make sure that my blogs are organized in a way that y'all will read them. But for this video, I didn't do that for this video. So, as far as for this video, what y'all about to get is straight just rawness, because, like, what's coming off the top of the dome. I don't know what's gonna come out. I don't know what's gonna talk about. But it's been a while, and I feel like I need to refresh everybody because I never really had a deep interview. No one really did. I've had one interview in my life for my blog, but wait a minute, I take that back. I did not have one interview. I can only have one that I can think of right now, but yeah, so I'll take that back. But like, it's been a while since I've been interviewed. Those interviews that I've had are years ago, and I would like to catch y'all up to speed on what exactly I'm doing with Doc's Castle Media since those interviews, because like, I've completely matured and grown since then. So first of all, I want to get y'all into what I'm doing with my hair before I start, because once I get into the story of me telling my story, basically I want to tell y'all what I'm using in my hair before I even get started. So what I'm going to do is a braid out. I section my hair into 4 different sections, or 3, because I can't find a scrunchie. I only got 3 right now, so 3 different sections. And then I use curling cream, moisture milk, whatever, to moisturize my hair. I use leave-in conditioner to moisturize my hair. And what people don't really know or don't really do, that a lot of natural hairstyle gurus don't talk about, is using grease in your hair. Like, grease is so bad. They just talk bad about grease, but I've never stopped using grease. I've been greasing my scalp ever since like middle school, for real. I always had grease. It was a point when I went natural at the start of like 2010, when we was going natural, where, you know, everybody just decided to go away from using grease. I probably did that for like a year and realized that grease kind of helped me. So I went back to using grease. I'm running out of curl cream. Like, both of these joints are like at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is basically use both of these joints today. Do not judge me. Yes, I used this joint right here. This is talked down upon. This is really, really good. So to mix these both together, these are going to give me an interesting texture. They both come out fine. They both come out fine because you know what? You know why? Because I top it off with the grease. I top it off with the grease. The herbal growth. Look fine. And I think at the end of the video, I'm going to give y'all a picture of the braid out afterwards. But anyway, I digress. Now, let's get to it, do it. So like I said, I'm going to section my hair off into 4 different parts. Into, well, 3 different parts because I decided I only had 2 scrunchies. And right now, like 2 parts on this side. We're going to start with this side. My hair is wet. I deep conditioned my hair before I did all of this. So like, that's one thing I didn't talk about. I washed my hair and deep conditioned it. So, and then, yeah. So yeah. Let's begin with a little Doc's Castle Media history. Do you guys know when Doc's Castle Media started? Do you know when it started? If you can tell me when Doc's Castle Media started in the comments, you enter yourself in to win a prize by me. I will hit you up. Basically, Doc's Castle Media started a while ago. Like I said, I'm not going to tell y'all the year because blah, you can figure out yourself. It started a while ago and it started after I graduated college. Well, it started when I was in college, but Doc's Castle Media went full-fledged when I got out of college. It's when I went into full-blown entrepreneurship and I was just like, I'm going to start my own business because that's how I'm going to give myself some experience. That's how I'm going to be able to make money. You know, I had like 8 different internships while I was in college. So Doc's Castle Media was like, yeah, this is about to be like an internship. Because I got all of those internships because I wanted to give myself experience in the field of work. Like, they don't tell you that in school. That a job is not going to just fall in your lap. Like, especially in the field of work that I went in. I went to school for corporate communication, which was completely dying out by the time that I graduated school. And I wasn't going to stay in school for a whole nother year to get a degree for digital communications because I literally, like, corporate communications for me, my whole major already was digital communications. Like, I already did all the digital classes. They literally just changed the name of the major the last semester that I was there, and I was just like, no, like, you're not getting no more money from me. That's how I wound up graduating with just corporate communications instead of digital communications. But basically, I started Doc's Castle Media with my corporate communications background because I wanted to give myself some experience for a job. That's literally what it started as. But my first blog was well into like college, probably literally my first year of college. I started Doc's Castle Media, and my first blog was about David Letterman, sex scandal with his intern during the time or whatever. But my blog has far gone past what that was about. That was like literally my first experience using WordPress. But over the years of me blogging, like, my blog has evolved into like so many different things. I went to open mics and I wrote about a lot of hip-hop artists in Baltimore. I've been to a lot of like art exhibits and written about a lot of artists in Baltimore, highlighted a lot of different people on my blog after I graduated college. So basically, it was just a montage of me networking. I thought you were cool, so I wrote about you, type thing. And to this day, literally, that's kind of what Doc's Castle Media really is, except for I'm more influential or whatever. Yeah, I guess I'm that. But I just like to write about what I like to write about. I like to write about my experiences. Doc's Castle Media's first slogan was, you know, it's your talent, own that shit. Now it's writing myself into existence because it's just me being a creative of Baltimore City, writing my existence out to the world, and people enjoy reading about it. So, and there's just so many other positive things in Baltimore other than like what we consider, what people outside of this city consider to be our culture, that I like to highlight on Dots Castle Media as what our true culture is. You know, sometimes when you go out of the state and you visiting like somewhere in Florida, you tell somebody that you're from Baltimore and they're like, oh, the home of the Wire, which is like the most dumbest thing someone could say. Like, that's the only thing that has ever come out of Baltimore. It's why I write, because this is not all that is Baltimore, you know, and it's why I share a lot of the news articles and news stories that happen here on my stuff by people following me for like news updates and stuff. It's because it's really like Baltimore is really more than the Wire and the drugs, and now they put Charm City Kings out, and now Baltimore about to be about Charm City's Kings, and like, and we more than 12 o'clock boys. We have talent and we have positive things, but people bring a lot of their attention to the negative here. I just like to talk about the positive, and it's not very often that the positive get highlighted. I just like to just keep talking about it, you know, just for moments that it does get highlighted. When I started meeting people. I did the Bloggers Rundown, which was during the time my attempt to meet other bloggers in Baltimore City, because they're during the time when I started blogging that was like the extra step here in Baltimore, for real. Like, it really was only a handful of bloggers that I knew, and we all literally started the same year. Like, we all started our blogs in college. We all started around the same time, and we just thought that blogging was our thing at the time, just isolated. I thought that I was isolated blogger. I didn't think there was anybody else in Baltimore that was a blogger until I went on Twitter, and then I just started literally using the hashtags for what they're supposed to be used for. You know, marketing, trying to find new people and topics. So, I started using the hashtags on Twitter to find Baltimore bloggers, Maryland writers. Like, I started doing stuff like that, following them, reading their content, reaching out to them for the Baltimore's rundown, so that I would have just content for my blog and I can meet people, because I thought it was cool that it wasn't just me that was out here blogging. So I started the Baltimore's rundown to interview some creatives in Baltimore, some like podcasters, and who are people that are still podcasting now and people that are still blogging now. I found them years ago on my bloggers rundown to interview them and kept in touch. When I started doing that, that was like how I would say that I started introducing myself to the art scene here in Baltimore, if you want to say if there is an art scene, because there's a debate on whether there's an art scene here, and honestly, it has grown over the years since I've been a part of it. It hasn't always been Station North. Like, people didn't really know about Station North. Now Station North is a thing. When I first started, Station North was a thing, but it wasn't a area that everybody kind of like was a part of. Black people, it was just like divided, segregated sometimes, which it still is. Like, there's still some parts of Baltimore that is kind of like that. It's just more open. More venues are more open to hosting events. But it hasn't always been that way. So like I said, in the beginning, when I first started blogging, that's how I started being known, because people started realizing that I was writing about things that we didn't see or hear about anywhere else. During the time when I first started, we had this whole thing called New Baltimore and Old Baltimore. I wrote about it and my blog went viral amongst the scene here or whatever, talking about it because it was literally like this stupid beef that people was trying to insinuate between New Baltimore artists, which was like newer, fresh-faced Baltimore artists who were just starting to make music out there, trying to make a name for themselves, versus Baltimore artists that were older, who had already been out in the time, making a name for themselves already. The beef was them basically newer artists saying that they weren't getting the platform that older artists were getting. The New Baltimore versus Old Baltimore thing was literally like a party that gave newer artists a platform to perform at, and that kind of brought attention to Doc's Castle Media when I wrote about it, because it was like the second blog that I wrote as far as the support and crabs in a barrel type of mentality that Baltimore has always been known for. But you know, as time's gone on, now that I've been here, there is no such, well, I mean, there is a such thing as crabs in a barrel, but there's crabs in a barrel in every city. So Baltimore will always say that it is exclusive to us to say that we have a crab in a barrel mentality where we don't support each other and we're always talking down on each other type thing. But when you speak to people about their native cities, they all say the same thing. They don't get support from their hometowns. I think crabs in a barrel is literally everywhere at this point now. I don't know. It's not really a Baltimore thing anymore, but there are haters here. I can't not say that there are incidents in Baltimore where, you know, people that have done so much for their community, they have people who hate on them and they get killed for no apparent reason at all. There are instances in Baltimore that's like that. When it comes to like support, at that time when I was writing those blogs, I was saying the truth, but there comes maturity in my writings where I learned that you have to just keep working hard to get the support that you want. And I learned that from experience. Me continuing to write, to continuing to blog, continuing to have my Doc's Castle Media platform helped me to get the support that I needed to have behind me whenever I was featured on someone else's stuff, because I gave myself the experience and I gave myself the background for people to have about me on my own platform. I did the work. I have people continually still, even after I had a year break, which I'm about to get to talking about. After I had my year break, I still have people contacting me. And I wasn't even posting for a whole year. I didn't post a blog on my website. I didn't even have a URL. My blog was literally down. But because I continued to share news and be active on social media, just being the person that I am, I still had a following. So, I don't know. The whole crab in a barrel mentality, I mean, you just gotta work. Just work for what you want. It don't come easy. This world ain't easy. And people be thinking that they can get stuff easily and complaining all the time. And that's the thing. It's the person who complaining all the time. People always saying it, that we got gatekeepers. You just lazy. You just lazy, dog. Create a story for yourself. Create a story for yourself. That's all I gotta say. But anyway. Yeah, I want to talk about what gave me an extra push. So that's what I was known for. That's how it all started. Started going to open mics. That's the art scene. My blog got so confusing for me during the time of the Baltimore Uprising. 2015, Freddie Gray, police brutality, the riots that happened on North Ave. It was a very confusing time for me. I think that was the start of like me starting to go MIA from my blog, because there was like a lot of things personally that was going on in my life. Also, while the police brutality things was going on, it sucked. I was going through really sucked. I wrote a blog that went viral about Freddie Gray. It was like after Freddie Gray happened, it seemed like the media became so racial here in Baltimore. Like, the media was already racial because we had like stuff that happened in Ferguson, things that happened in New York, like things happened. It was stuff happening all over the country. Even while it was still stuff that was happening all over the country, I think it just really became real in Baltimore. It was so close to home. And a lot of my content turned from being about only art to being about a lot of social injustice. Like, I started to write so much about like people's freedom of speech and Black people being killed so frequently, because it seemed like almost every day I would get online and I would see someone die. That whole year in 2015 was nothing but videos of people dying on like my Facebook. The algorithm after Freddie Gray passed was so filled with so much police brutality and so many protests at that time. So a lot of the content that I started sharing, as far as, you know, when I started getting really into sharing the news at that point, like people really started following me for sharing the news. Like I started wanting to make sure that everybody was getting the news that he wanted, because all of my blogger friends, art friends, we were hitting up protests, because we wanted to make sure that we were documenting what was really going on in Baltimore. Because you would turn on CNN and they were still making it seem like we were rioting. But we only literally riot for that one day that they rioted in Baltimore. And then the next day, Baltimore City came out, cleaned their own mess up, came together, and there literally was like people coming together, just curing everyone's soul for the whole rest of the week. And CNN wasn't covering it. It was like every time they wanted to cover anything that happened in Baltimore regarding Freddie Gray, it was always the negative. What me and my friends wanted to do was make sure that we shared all the positive protests. I started getting followers because that was like the way we were healing our city. I felt like I was healing people on my timeline because I was sharing content about just all the artists that shared their art at the time to heal. Everyone, it was like dance contests going on. It was all types of stuff, marching bands. It was all types of stuff happening during Baltimore's uprising. And I felt like it was my duty to go out there and share on my timeline what was happening, because what everybody else was seeing on TV nationally was just the riots. I think the only good material that we did see was from WJZ, when they would give us the aerial view from the helicopter of everyone, you know, basically being together and happy. WJZ had their footage shown on CNN because, like, it was being shown so much here. Everybody was tuning in so much here for the positivity than to CNN. Like, during that time, that's when my blog changed, and a lot of that played into effect of what I really wanted to do, because I wasn't writing about art anymore. I started writing about Black Lives Matter. I started writing about people killing us for real. Like, it was, the content started getting serious. Like, I wrote about what Farrakhan said at the Million Man March. I went to a social media conference that was all about trying to get Black voices and Black media heard. My whole theme of Doc Social Media wasn't even about owning your talent anymore. It became about social issues. And it started getting depressing because it was just like, my eyes were opened up. I was like I said, I was fresh out of college the year prior. So my eyes were open up to the reality of the world. And I already knew that these things was going on. But like, to be fresh out of college, fresh in the world, in the midst of all of that going on, I was literally in the midst of the riot, when the riots was going on, trying to get home for 4 hours, trying to get to a safe place. Post-traumatic stress, I tell you, post-traumatic stress on something real. I was on post-traumatic stress from that. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. I didn't know anymore what to write about it. And then the artists, it felt like a lot of people in Baltimore were going through that too. A lot of us changed direction. I had a friend, she was just strictly a blogger. She started taking pictures. She became a photographer. We had photographers who then went and was on the cover of Time magazine here because of what was going on. Like, everybody's lives started to change drastically. Freddie Gray played a part of everyone's lives. I just didn't know what my blog was about anymore because I liked art, and it seemed like everything got so serious I wasn't even about art anymore. Matter of fact, like, honestly, I wasn't being true to myself during that time, because during that time I felt like I was only writing. I've been an artist all my life. I've been drawing since the 4th, 5th grade. Always been a part of an art club. But when I graduated from college, or when I left high school, I didn't do art that much when I went to college. Like, the only art that I did was in digital art class for my grades. But I never, like, did any art for myself. I only did mainly writing. I didn't bring myself back into art until after I went MIA the year of the Baltimore uprisings. So I would say I had blogged for probably a whole year, 2015, 2016. 2016, 2017, 2018, I became very quiet online. I decided to go to do podcasts with Busy Doing Nothing. So that was like literally the only thing that I really was doing as far as social media or online stuff. But as far as like my blog myself, I wanted to take on a project of creating a news app because of what had happened with Freddie Gray. I wanted to make sure that I went into learning more about media literacy. When I went into learning about media literacy, I just tried to do that. But which my app is still like, I'm still thinking about, I still have ideas about, but it never fully launched. I had a test that I sent out to a few people for a news app when I did that in 2016. And then, you know, after that, the app just went obsolete because I didn't keep up with the updates. So that was a bust. I do have plans for like maybe a news app later. Still working on that. I'm still gonna contact someone to try to help me create a news app whenever I get the chance of doing that. I went MIA, working on that, was busy doing nothing. I was trying to find myself, y'all, and I didn't abandon anybody, but people started hitting me up. Like, my URL for Docs Castle Media, it was docscastlemedia.com. Completely, like, just some spam overtook my blog. And when it took my blog, I didn't take care of it and let the website go down for for 6 months. So my URL was gone and no one could go see any of my blogs for a long time. Sorry. Spent 2016, 2017 just like trying to figure myself out. Like, I was telling people, I was interviewed on a podcast for someone. They asked me like what was I up to recently at the time, and I told them that I was writing a book. And I was writing a book about the Baltimore art scene here. But there's nothing to write about. There was nothing to write about anymore, because like after Freddie Gray happened, like everybody went silent. So I wasn't writing that story. And it was so hard because I didn't know what to talk about no more. Because I didn't want to keep talking about Black Lives Matter. Like, I was like, this is not me. This is not my life. Like, I know I'm black, but damn, this is depressing. Like, it's depressing to write about people dying like that. And I always wanted to shed the light of Baltimore City. And because there wasn't really that much people everybody was retreating into their circle or to their little bubble to figure out what they wanted to do with their life. Like, I didn't know what to do with my life. My life was about writing about y'all. Like, that's what it was. And I didn't know anymore. So I had to become a content creator. I had to figure out what my niche was going to be, because everybody came to me about the underground scene, but the underground scene fell apart. Like, Baltimore didn't really have anything anymore. We already wasn't solid. Like, I felt like we were trying to build up to a point to have a network of media that helped artists here in Baltimore. And what happened was the Baltimore uprising happened and completely got in the way of that, and that stopped everything, which meant that stopped what my plans were as far as trying to talk more about what was happening here with artists at the time. So I needed to be the Baltimore creative myself. I was lost in art, the Baltimore uprising, and what personal things that I was going through and drama that I was going through at the time with Doc's Castle Media, because artists also have their beef with other artists as well. What I was going through at the time with Doc's Castle Media interfered. Also, my personal life slowed me down from creating content or knowing what type of content that I wanted to deliver. So I went MIA, my blog went MIA and went down, and I had to figure things out. I started an art page on Instagram and fell in love with art again. Doing graphic design for people. I did resume writing. I became a notary. I quit my job as a business office manager. Y'all, like, I was doing good. Quit my job as business office manager to try to be an entrepreneur 24/7. Learned that I was not ready for that. It was a lesson that I had to learn. Talked my way into getting a job as a marketing assistant at a dental firm, and it didn't work there. I went through so much stress financially during the time of me being MIA from my blog. I am grateful and blessed to say that I was able to also have blessings during that time. I purchased my home while I was MIA from Doc's Castle Media, going through financial issues. I purchased a house. I purchased 2 cars. Going through financial problems while I was MIA from Doc's Castle Media. Like, I was going through so much, like, financially. Like, it was breaking me down mentally, and I could not focus. I gained weight. People could see it in my pictures. when I went MIA, I gained weight. Whatever. So now y'all see why, like, I was going through some things. And I needed to have a break. So when people were starting to hit me up and was just like, have you stopped vlogging, Taylor? Like, what are you doing? It's like, I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to get myself together. Like, I couldn't even focus. I lost a passion for blogging. I was talking to blogger friends. I remember going out with, because me and Shay hang out sometimes. Like, we go to concerts together. Shay's another blogger here, Baltimore. Me and Shay went to Earth Gang concert at College Park. And I was venting to her about, like, I don't even know, girl, if I don't even want to write anymore. I was trying to tell her that I didn't even know if I wanted to blog anymore. I could not figure out. I didn't have the passion. And I know that probably been my depression talking, because, like, I done went right back to writing. Like, it was no big deal. Like, I never was going to leave, because I'm back to writing all the time. I'm freaking telling y'all what's going on in this video. I also know that's what I know, depression is real, because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what I was going through, y'all. Like, depression real. Like, I didn't realize that I really fell out of love with my passion. I was so sad about what was happening, all of the bad things that was going on to me. Yeah, I didn't have a direction for myself. So I had to fall back in love with art. I had to fall back in love with figuring out what I wanted to do. I spent time writing to myself, love letters to myself, journaling to myself, writing, doing art challenges, falling in love with new things that I don't do. Like, I started going to the gym. I told myself how to cook. And my family know. Like, for years, I didn't know how to cook. My mother is the cook of the family. Kendall, my sister, is the one that everybody assumes will be the one to cook, not me. But I taught myself how to cook. Like, I had to pull myself out of some type of depression, y'all, to, like, figure out really what I wanted to do with Dot Social Media. So I went MIA because I didn't know. Then financially, me, all of the drama that I went through during the time, as far as with the people that I was in drama with, as far as in the art scene, because I had some drama with people that was just who I was hanging with at the time. Guy drama, job drama, just being a new adulting type drama, learning how to adult. Like, everything was just hit. Like, I was not prepared after college what life was going to be like for me. And I hit a depression. So y'all wanted to know what I was up to. That's what I was up to during my time MIA from Dot Social Media, trying to attempt to do that NaNoWriMo for 3 years. Too damn depressed to get through it. I had to pull myself out of depression. I still have not tackled NaNoWriMo, y'all. I will get there. I will write a novel in a month. Y'all know I write so much. I've already basically written a novel. My blog is a novel. But I have not been able to conquer NaNoWriMo. And I tried to attempt NaNoWriMo. Literally, the first year I went MIA on when my blog URL went down. So, what the hell? I was out, y'all. But I'm back. I'm back again. I'm back again. And Dot Social Media is looking fresh and new. Like, I have a new outline for the website, and like this, or a new, not outline, a new layout. What in the world? This ain't no paper. A store coming, because I told you guys that I have fallen back in love with doing art. I am starting to open up a store this coming fall for Dots Castle Media. It's gonna have my artwork, some prints that I've been making from artwork that graphic work that I've done, artwork from my phone that you guys will be able to purchase on my website. You guys been following my art blog. It's basically becoming a part of Dots Castle Media. So Dots Castle Pics, which is my art blog, it was never really a part of Dots Castle Media blog. Like, I've never shared any of my artwork on my blog. Never did any of that on my blog because, like, it was just, I try to keep writing in my art separately. But no, it's not working that way anymore. I just want to basically do everything as, it's my castle, it's my website, it's my blog. So artwork's being sold there too. I am going to open up a store that will have magnets and keychains and all those type of goodies. Obviously not going to finish this video and finish my hair while I'm doing this video. Like, I'm going to finish the video for my hair. So, taking too long to do this shit. I'm going to have a art store, magnet keychains, tipsy decor. It's pretty much a alcohol art project. I like alcohol. If you already know, you know I like alcohol. So what sparked me creating a tipsy decor series as an artist was literally the thought that I like alcohol. And I have a example for you guys to see right now, if you like to look. Here's an example of a tipsy decor vase that I made into a lamp. Now, if it was dark in here, it would look better, but because I gotta do extra stuff to turn the light off, I'm not gonna show y'all that. It's a light, and I'll have plenty of these in my inventory when my store opens. Dots Castle Media is evolving. For me, not just only featuring and talking about current events and what's happening in Baltimore and Baltimore artists, I will also be an artist spotlighted on Dots Castle Media myself, sharing a lot of my artwork with you guys in my art store. Giving y'all a lot more. I'm just going to give you guys a lot more exclusives and things and opportunities with Dots Castle Media now. Now, I'm tired of doing my hair and being on this video at the same time. And my video also popped up saying that it was like running out of space. So what I'm going to do is I'm wrapping this up, and I'm going to end the video with a picture of what this looks like after I finish braiding it, and maybe a picture of what this looks like after I take it out. This literally is the same hairstyle that I do all the time. I don't gotta show y'all a fresh braid out hairstyle, especially when I ain't even mixing the products right. Like, I showed y'all what I was doing. I'm running out. I wanted to just give y'all a new segment, giving y'all an update. I wanted to give y'all a background of Dots Castle Media, why I've been MIA from Dots Castle Media for a year and a half, what's coming to Dots Castle Media this fall and for the coming year, because COVID completely messed this year up, but I still came back to y'all. That's the best thing. And so many other things that I plan on doing with Dots Castle Media. Hopefully more videos like this. You know, more docs, what's up, in my library, talking to y'all, maybe doing my hair, whatever. I wanted to do something where you guys will hear my voice. Not only do you guys just always read me, though I love writing more than these videos, I understand the importance of doing these videos too, because not everybody like reading, or it's just quick. You get the message out. So I will do more of What's Up Doc or Doc's What's Up, whatever I named this segment, I will do more of these on my blog and posting them on my blog so you guys will have more insight of what's happening. In the meantime, thank you. Continue to read. Please make sure that you guys go and subscribe to my blog. You can follow me. You can put a thumbs up on this video. You can subscribe to this video. You can subscribe anywhere. But what I am telling you now, if you subscribe to my website, you will get the exclusive offers before anyone gets any exclusive offers on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, because you are subscribed to the original site. I'm going to give out newsletters, probably on a quarterly basis, to people that will have contests for you to win art, for you to win, offers from sponsors, because I've been getting some invites and some advertising and sponsors offers lately since I've been getting back on my blogging tip. I wanted to offer people that have been following me, you will have the opportunity to win things and get things, and I just want to give that to y'all because I've been around for so long now that it's time. It's just time to get y'all involved. It's time to get people involved. It's time to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Please go out and subscribe. Go to dotscastlellc.com and subscribe. You'll see a section that says subscribe in the menu. There's an area that says subscribe to the digital paper. There's an area that says subscribe. If you want to just subscribe to the blog, just click on subscribe. If you want to subscribe to the digital paper of current events that I deliver daily to your email, you subscribe to the digital paper, which is something completely different. That doesn't include anything as far as like exclusives yet. I'm still working the kinks out on that. But if you do want to get news, you can add yourself there. But as far as the blogs, I am giving exclusives out to who is ever subscribed to my blog. So do that thing. Do that thing. Do that thing. Alright, y'all. Let me focus on completing my hair because I'm tired of doing this. And I've been talking to y'all for like well over almost an hour. So, anyway, thanks for listening. Peace, y'all.